Hey everyone, it's me, Mason Reynolds, otherwise known as Chiefofbricks. That is what this channel is. And I think this video has been a long time in the coming, to be honest. As you notice, we haven't made like a video on this channel in, well, I think it's been like 2 years, if not almost close to 3 at this point. And I feel like I've been so busy in my life. There's been so many things that have happened, especially in this past year. And I don't know, I've had so many different interests going left and right. And also, like, I've been moving a lot. I moved to Cleveland to finish my master's program. And now I'm in Rochester, New York with my partner. So it's been a lot of new change and welcoming that change. And what? I guess I should say yesterday was my birthday. So now I'm 24 years old. And I don't know, I've always wanted to do a video like on my birthday or around that time to kind of like self-reflect. And I was speaking to my partner, this week, and it was like during an emotional moment. And I was like, I feel like I'm someone who does a lot of self-reflecting, but I all my self-reflection is so internal, and I never, as someone who loves art, I rarely like go out and like, I don't know, manifest that self-reflection somewhere or just manifest my emotions in some way. I think a lot of times I close myself off to the world. That's not necessarily what this video is about, but I think it's a good segue to kind of what I want to talk about. And I was recently watching this video by Johnny Moza. He's a YouTuber from the UK, and he does like sort of like talk videos like this where he talks about like various topics, makes like 1 or 2 a day. And I found his videos just really, I don't know, just they've really grown my confidence a little bit, and have made me thought about the creative process, and just I've found listening to some of his stuff really motivating. Specifically put out this video the other day ago, which was about kind of like creating a pact with yourself and creating not necessarily a routine, but keeping like consistency in your life. And once you let that consistency just stop, then that's kind of when you start to slip, and we let things get through, and we stop focusing on self-care, self-keeping, those types of things. And we're busy. People are so busy right now. Times are crazy with everything going on in the world. So it's hard to like keep ourselves where we're at. But I think for me, it's also like I want to grow, and I have so many ambitions. And for all my friends who have known me, I feel like I've always been such an ambitious person, but at least recently I feel like I haven't pursued those more creative ambitions, which I really miss doing. So this video is about, I guess, a 30-day plan, you could say, or a 30-day pact of a couple of things I want to do. And it was really inspired by that Johnny Moza video, which I mentioned. I'll link it down below. But basically, I have kind of like 4 things here, which I would say are like 4 priorities right now in my life, which some of them are creative, some of them are just other ways I want to, work on myself. But really, so I'll go through them right now. So the first one, well, so I haven't made a video in a while, so this is really off the cuff. This is not scripted. You're going to see a lot of interruptions, and sometimes that's just how I speak. Yeah, so I feel like I was living on my own last year, and it's really challenging living on your own if you haven't done that. Finishing my graduate program in social work, a lot of times I felt really lonely, to be honest. And I have a ton of friends, so many people who like me, and so many people that I just love being around, friends and family, people in my undergrad, people in high school who I'm still super close to. But often I feel like I become kind of a shut-in, and I close myself in, and I kind of alienate myself from people. Then I kind of forget to reach out. So the first thing on this like 30-day pact, which I want to do, is just call 2 friends or loved ones once a week. There are so many people and maybe some of you who are watching this video, who are like some of my longtime friends, and I want to like reach out, but I just find like anxiety within it. I find myself just like putting up these like blockers and barriers to the things I want to do, and especially just reaching out to people. I don't know, it gives me some anxiety for some reason. I think I'm like scared, like what am I gonna say? Am I still cool? Like those types of like negative self-thinking behaviors. So there's a lot of people I want to call. I want to get back in touch with. So I think really making an effort, and that's why I'm making this entire like pact just 30 days. If I can do it for a month, maybe a habit will form, then I can, go on and do the next thing, which I want to do. But, calling 2 friends or, family members once a week, I think that's really important for me, just so I can keep in contact with all those people that I love. And I had such a great day yesterday. It was my birthday. And one of my friends, who we share the same birthday with, they invited me, to come to their place, hang out, meet some other people. And it was just really great, being around a bunch of people. I only knew the one person, but, getting just, sometimes I miss that. Oh, there's a bee. I think that was a bee. I miss that social interaction, and I find it's more difficult. You enter your 20s. Everyone's so dang busy. Everyone's working. Everyone's just in different places in your life. So I really want to make an effort, in this next month to reach out to the people that I care about. Some people who I haven't reached out in over a year, 2 years, those are the people that mean the most to me. The second thing on my 30-day pact, and this isn't really in order of priority, but the first one is definitely my biggest priority, enlisting. And that was one of the biggest reasons of wanting to make this video, is that just working out or doing like a physical activity once per day. I feel like I'm someone who I'll get really hyped to like do a new fitness like regime, and I'll do it for routine. I mean, not regime. I'll do the routine for like 2 weeks straight, and I'll get very serious about it, and then I'll slip one day. And Johnny Mozo talks about this in his video, that once you slip, okay, then the next time you start working out, then you'll do like maybe like 75% effort, or you'll remove one thing, and then it slowly gets to the point where I'm just not going to work out today at all. Then get to the point where it's like, well, I'm not going to work out for another 2 weeks, and then 3 months pass, you haven't worked out, you don't feel physically the greatest that you have been. And it's like, imagine the progress I could have made, in that time. And I find myself, sometimes I don't have a lot of energy at the end of the day, but the days that I do work out, I feel less lethargic. I feel like more like mentally ready to tackle the day. So I think that would be good. That'd be good for me. The next one, and this kind of goes in line with the last one, is that I've been taking guitar lessons on and off for a couple of years. I started learning classical guitar in college, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But I'm so inconsistent. I'm just inconsistent at so many things that I love doing. So I'm really going to make an effort to at least practice 30 minutes a day, every single day for this next month. I've found that when I set larger practice goals of like, all right, I want to do an hour, I want to do 2 hours a day, I just don't do it at all because it's too daunting. So I think lowering the bar, 30 minutes a day, half hour, just practice the guitar would be really good for me, especially because I find music so therapeutic. Music really helped me get through college and a lot of really hard times in my life. And I love playing music. I love listening to music and just being more intentional with my time, because it's so easy for me to just sit down and like play a video game for like 5 hours straight. But for some reason, wanting to like call one of my friends who I miss or playing guitar is just so much more difficult and more daunting to me. I think I find a lot of comfort in just like going to that escapism of like video games. And there's nothing wrong with video games or movies or even music, just media in general. There's nothing wrong with those things. We need that escape in our life. I think all people do. But I find myself reaching to that more rather than like my actual support system, right? So I want to be really intentional with how I spend my time in that regard. And then connected to that, I just want to read 10 pages a day from any book. I have so many books. And when I moved into my own apartment last year, I had this bookshelf and I lined it up with like 30, 40 books. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to crack one of these out and I'm going I want to read one like every other week, and I'm going to be so studious and all that, and really get involved in reading. And I think I maybe read one book, maybe two, in the whole year. And I'm not trying to like self-pity myself, because I was very busy. I was finishing up my master's program, 1-year master's program. So I was super busy, stressed. So I had to give myself some leeway, right? But I love reading. I really do. With my mom passing last year, she was an English teacher, and I miss all the conversations we would have, about, in high school and even like college. I'd like tell her about like something I was reading, and we'd just have such really great in-depth conversations. So I think for me, reading, while it's definitely like a personal venture for me, I find that it really connects myself to my mom, and thinking about her, like a spiritual way. And I'm not someone who's very religious myself. I'm agnostic, but I think about my mom a lot, still carrying that grief every day. And I think reading, I don't know, kind of just makes me think about her at the same time. I love storytelling, and reading is a form of escapism for a lot of people, for sure. So I think connecting that back to my life, being intentional with that. And I've said that word multiple times throughout recording this, intentionality. It's just being really focused on what your priorities are. And for me, I want my priorities to be the people who are in front of me. Focusing on staying in the present, caring about the people who are close to me, and then working on myself at the exact same time. So that's kind of what this 30-day pact is about, and we'll see where it goes. How much time has elapsed? Oh, dang, like 12 minutes now. And I think I'd just like to talk about this channel for a little bit now. Chiefofbricks, that identity of myself, and also just the channel in general. And probably most people know this who watch this channel, or who have watched this channel in the past, is that I'm not the only person who contributed to this channel. Tyler, Dylan, every single one of my other friends who's ever been in a video, all those great people, especially Tyler and Dylan, those guys are like my right-hand man when it comes to Chiefofbricks, like this channel specifically. And I want to get back into making videos. I've been wanting to get back into making videos for a long time, and I've recorded things. I think like 2 years ago, I recorded like a full movie with the camera that's recording this right now. Like I filmed a full movie solo project by myself, which was kind of like how do I describe it? Like a indie, atmospheric, kind of analog horror film, which I spent like a whole week working on. I was dog sitting one of my family's dogs. And I have those files. I recorded the entire film. I just didn't have the chance to film like the last 2 scenes, but it's pretty much done. And I've just sat on it for so long, and I think that's something that I just need to finish. Either I need to finish it, or in some way, shape, or form, maybe if it's shorter and it's like really cut a certain way, that's something I need to do. And then Tyler and I filmed a video like a month and a half ago, and it was really funny. It was this really funny shorter video. I don't want to get too much into it. It was like kind of like a traditional like Chiefofbricks comedy video that a lot of people are used to on this channel. And that's something that like I have half the video files on this camera, then Tyler filmed like probably like 60% of it on his camera, but all I have to do is like submit it on our Google Drive. But I've gotten like either like I get lazy, or I just don't think about it. I like avoid it doing it, or I just get like anxious about it. I don't know why. I think I'm just like, I convinced myself that I'm not a creative person when I really am. And I think that's something that like, that's a creative outlook that I need to get back into. So filmmaking for sure. Yeah, so that's kind of where this channel's at. I definitely want to make some more things, even if it's just maybe like a talk video like this every once in a while, or, can get together with friends and maybe make some more short films or something like that. I think that'd be great. I don't want to keep this video going on for too much longer. And this was really inspired by Johnny Moza for sure, and a lot of his content. So I'll be linking his channel in the description. He's got like 60,000 subscribers, I think, last time I checked. I could be wrong about that. I like a lot of his stuff for sure. And I guess, if anything, this is kind of a nostalgic video to make, because this, I mean, I had the whole Mason Talk series like on and off for, you know, a couple years there, especially like when I had COVID. During the pandemic, I had COVID, and I did that whole week-long talk series. That was really fun. So I think this is like a spiritual successor to this in some way. I'm not sure if this will be a series necessarily, but, you know, I think this is just a pivotal transition period in my life and a lot of people around me. And I think it's good to do like kind of like a video journal like this, you know. Helps me for sure. Maybe people who are curious, who follow the channel, will take some inkling out of it. So the 30-day pact, I'm gonna be working on this. I don't have a goal for like video creating. I just want to keep it simple for this first 30 days, but I'll at least make one more video next month, 30 days from now, kind of like recapping like how this little experiment went, and maybe I'll add something else to a pact. Maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I won't. I am very ambitious, and I often don't achieve the things that I set forth, but I gotta give myself a pat on the back at the same time. You know, I've done a lot this past year. You know, I've grieved the death of my mom, which is like the hardest thing I've ever faced in my life, and I'm not sure if I'll ever face something that hard again. Like, that was awful. You know, lived on my own for an entire year. I just finished a master's program at a very hard college, so I got to give myself a pat on the back, you know, and I just moved in with my partner, so a lot of, you know, I've achieved a lot at the same time, so I am proud of myself, but I'm also, I tend to be pretty hard on myself. That's something my mom always said. She'd be like, Mason, your greatest weakness is that you're just too dang hard on yourself. She used to say that to me all the time. So what I'm getting at, kind of going in circles now. This is very loose, off the cuff. If you like this video, leave me a comment. You know, tell me how you're doing. If you're a long time, you know, viewer of the channel, I'd love to hear how you're doing. If you made it this far in the video, you know, what was one of your favorite Chiefofbricks videos? You know, what's going on in your life? I'd love to, you know, hear what everyone else is going on in their life. Yep. So I'm gonna do the classic, you know, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that stuff, whatever. As always, it's been Mason, Chiefofbricks. You know, have a great day. You know, take care of yourselves. You know, do yourself, you know, give yourself a gift today. You know, do something nice for yourself. Do something nice for your loved ones. All right. Take care. Have a good one.